Let's Play!
Hi guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Narcissu. Hey, are you? Yes, she was, for the first time. She was crying. First her shoulders had trembled, then her face had creased, and then she wasn't able to hold the tears in any longer. Because I knew all along it was hopeless. I could have hoped. I could have tried. But then it would have been my fault when I failed. And I had to hold on to that. I had to keep that as an excuse. Didn't I? Wasn't that enough? Oh, didn't I? Wasn't that enough? I think that was him. I can't tell. It was still night. The sky outside was empty, but for the moon. All I could hear was the distant sound of the sea, and, from time to time, her sobs echoing it. All she really was an echo. No, she really was an echo, wasn't she? I thought. All she could do was come back to the same words. She couldn't speak for herself, or hope, or see. All she could do was give up. Almost certainly, her rejection of both her home and the 7th floor had been the first time she had taken up arms to resist, and very nearly the last. Okay, this has to be it, the final chapter. Chapter 8. Shiraishi Construction. That's a weird and out-of-nowhere title. The still winter sea. The piercing wintry wind. Sometimes stronger gusts set the pine grove rustling and raise the gentle soughing of the sea. I'm afraid this is the best I can find. I handed her the towel, one of the promotional ones we'd used before, printed with the name Shiraishi Construction. Don't look like that. Sorry. She took it with a bad grace. I couldn't imagine what else she'd been expecting me to do. We were in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of winter, and she wanted, of all things, a bikini. Obviously improvisation had been the only option. I plunged back into the tangled heap of laundry, and the towel had been what I found. She disappeared briefly. When she returned, she was still wearing her skirt, but just above it, just the towel bound round her breasts. Well, what do you want me to say? Does it look silly? A bit. What I meant to say was, no, not at all. You look great. Okay, then. She began to walk down towards the water. The waves broke before her feet. The cold sea breeze whipped her hair around her. To crown it all, it had started to snow. She splashed into the sea, barefoot and seemingly happy, amidst the wind and snow, holding her shoes. Well, convincing? Not bad, I guess. It didn't help that it was midwinter. Most pinups don't have white misty hazes around their mouths. I pulled the camera out anyway. I'd fetched it while she was changing. It was a disposable we'd used before. There was one shot left on it. Say cheese. Eh? You need a photographer, don't you? To get it right? I took aim. Right? Okay. She stood there in the surf, framed by the viewfinder. She was wearing a more complex expression than usual. The touch of blush was there again, but this time the face it tinged was nervous. Come on, smile then, and try to pose a little, won't you? But... don't butt me. You're supposed to be a model. Don't just stand there trembling like that. All right. She was clearly embarrassed, but made an effort nonetheless. One hand clasped her hips. Her hip! The other spread wide and reached out. This is a difficult sentence. As she reached out into the winter sky, it almost looked as though she was grasping at something, or groping for it. Her arms stretched straight out into the sky. Behind her churned the sea. It was green enough. You've forgotten something. What? Smile. Eh? Smile. Setsumi. Don't be cheeky, kid. As she said that, for the first time, she smiled. She smiled in her pretty skirt and ridiculous bikini top. She smiled on that final exposure of that disposable camera. She laughed in front of that green enough sea. She smiled into the camera, every bit a model for that one moment. Great. Okay, let's have a more dynamic pose next. Sure. She leapt out of the water, laughing. The film was finished, of course, but I pretended to take a photo anyway. Hey, you're getting the hang of this. Don't be silly. The snow grew in volume, as though it was trying to bury our cheerful voices. We ignored it. I continued to hold that camera, full though it was, to my eye, following her every move. As she fought to control her slender, frail body in the rising wind, as she smiled, her newly rediscovered smile. So, you ready now? Yeah. She turned back to the sea. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. I've still got your license. Keep it. As a memento. All right. She nodded and thrust it back into her shirt pocket. I'd already given it to her once. It wasn't like I was going to need it myself. Now she was fumbling with something for herself with her wrist and turning to me. She had taken off her white band. She was holding it out. For me? Yes. Take it. Thank you. I'll keep it to remember you by. So I took it, stuck it in my pocket, in my license's place. She was turning back to the sea again. I called after her. Can I ask you one last question? What? Do you want me to stop you this time? Or do you want me to give you a push off? She stopped with her back to me. The waves lapped around her toes. She stood on the border of land and sea, battered by the spray. At length, she looked back. Heh, good question. I don't know. What do you think? And she smiled one last time. As the spray hissed around her, she looked back at me and smiled through her tears. We'd been here before. She walked out into the surf before stopping. This time, she didn't stop. That was answer enough. So, goodbye then. Thus, our journey ended, just after shy of 1,000 kilometers. I'd only been a part of it for 15 days, She had been traveling this road all her life. She had crossed the finishing line by her own will, neither at home nor on the 7th floor. I wish this text would move faster. I have to pause and it's awkward. She was one of the estimated 35,000 Japanese to take their lives in 2005. Oh, is this like a true story? Setsumi, 22, female, blood type 0, a white wristband patient. That was the sum total of her existence. But she was more than that for me. I knew she liked clothes, and she liked cars. She was better than a computer for navigating. She was better than a computer for navigating. She even had a license, sort of. I knew that, though she rarely displayed any emotion. When she did look at you, it would be with that sweet mixture of blush and pout. I'd seen her in the Emerald Sea, laughing and posing like a swimsuit model. I had a photo of it. Last exposure on that cheap disposable camera had captured her smile. It was only one photograph, but it was all the proof I needed. Huh. So that was the ending. I was expecting it to affect me more. I liked the music. The music was really good. The story was good too. I really did enjoy it. A bit not as good as I would have liked, sort of. If like I think it could have been a bit better. There's actually, I know that there is a totally different translation if you play it voiced, so that might be interesting. If you want to play it, maybe play it voiced. Tell me if it's any different, because I don't think I'll. Oh, I love that photo. That's so. Oh, that's a nice photo. That is nice. So that was Narcissu. Good story. Bit of an abrupt ending. The simplistic format of it, I liked actually. Is that it? There we go. Interesting. Huh. Not a bad visual novel, I wouldn't say. This one's really short. I think I might like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if you could tell, but my reading wasn't that good today, because that's actually the first time I spoke today. Because today at school, we had the day of silence where we couldn't speak, so yeah, that was the first time I spoke today. So, pardon me for the ending not being the best, but, I think I like, Don't Take It Personally, Babe, a bit better. But, yeah, not bad. Not bad. I would say it did kind of drag on at parts, but it wasn't bad. Like I said. So, thanks for that. Thanks for watching. So, I might do one more visual novel before I go on to the big visual novel I want to do. But, until then, guys, thanks for watching, and, see ya.